Alright guys, so we're back again today with a live in the UU tier. We're dropping down one tier, and I might even go down to RU. I don't know RU too well, but today we're doing UU, as you can see. We've got a Swords Dance to Blade, a Swords Dance Absol, Mega-Absol. We have Dragon Dance, Gyarados, set up Reuniclus as well with Calm Mind and Recover. We have a Mega Blastoise. No, sorry, we're not Mega Blastoise. We're regular Blastoise. I just see Blastoise, I automatically assume Mega, but we are Mega-Absol, so that's just defensive Blastoise. It's got a little bit of speed on it to outspeed certain slower Pokemon. It's running a nice set. I believe I'm Dark Pulse, Scald, Rapid Spin, so that's really good. We have fully defensive Chestnut, which takes on a lot of big Pokemon in the UU tier. So we're going to give the team a shot. I've already tried this team out before. Worked out pretty well, got a lot of wins, moved up a little bit on the ladder, but we're going to give it a shot again, and we're going to see where it takes us. Hopefully there are a lot of people playing UU. We'll check right now, actually. Let's see. Active battles, UU. Got 46 battles, so that's pretty good. Click refresh a couple of times. Staying at 46, so that means we're not going to get one, and we are. Okay, never mind. Alright, so this guy's got a really cool team, actually. He's got a Ditto. You see Ditto everywhere, and even in OU, and it's always fun to see. It's kind of a little bit of a drag for me because I do have 4 setup sweepers, so until that thing is gone, I can't set up. Now, the most obvious lead is his Frostlass to set up spikes. So what I'm actually going to do is, it also spin blocks me, so that's really annoying. We are Ice Fang on this thing to take out Salamence. I don't like Earthquake in this tier. It kind of only hits Arcanine and a couple other Pokemon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead the Blade on his Frostlass. And he might want to switch out here, but I'm just going to go for the Iron Head. He's not going to go for Destiny Bond first turn. He's just going to go for Protect. So really strange. I don't usually see Protect on Frostlass, but to each his own. That's I guess it could work. He's going to go Arcanine, probably defensive Arcanine, as we do take Rocky Helmet damage, a little unfortunate, but this thing doesn't do too well against Blastoise, so we're just going to go straight into it, and the only Blastoise switch I see is Blissey, so he is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here, so we're going to have to take that. And I can predict his Blissey to come in, and I can go into Absol and then fire off a knockoff on something. Which would be pretty good, getting rid of Ditto's Scarf. We can Sucker Punch the Aerodactyl after, that's obviously Mega Arrow. Get rid of Mandibuzz's leftovers, getting rid of Arcanine's Rocky Helmet would be really good. So I am just going to go Absol directly on the Blissey, and we're just going to fire off a knockoff straight away. Like I said before, we can't really set up as long as the Ditto's around, so it's a little unfortunate, but we're going to try our best with what we got here, so... obviously, his Arcanine cannot Will-O-Wisp Absol because of Magic Bounce. He won't get burned himself because he is a Fire type, but we can't get burned, so it's just fun times. So we can set up on Arcanine. Absol is the only thing that can set up while Ditto is still around because it forces Ditto to go for Sucker Punches, trying to outpace my Sucker Punch, and I can play around that. So I can either go to Gyarados afterwards and lower its speed, start setting up Dragon Dances behind a sub. Actually, Gyarados does a lot this game. I just noticed. It actually demolishes his team, especially once the Ditto is gone, of course. So I kind of just want a Swords Dance here, honestly. I don't know what this Arcanine's going to want to go for, but let's just go for it. He's going to go for E-Speed. It's going to do a pretty good chunk, but at this point, another knockoff is just going to demolish this thing. And like I said, I want to win with DD Gara, so he's going to go for Flare Blitz. He's going to take out Absol. It's not a big deal. We do have another answer to Blissey, being Gyarados, so I'm going to go into it right away. And I'm going to sub. We are Intimidate, so the Arcanine can no longer touch us behind a sub. It has the potential of being faster, but normally defensive types like this aren't, so I'm just going to sub right away. As he's going to go into Mandibuzz, that's fine. I'm going to get off a Dragon Dance, and he's probably... Actually, I'm just going to go for Ice Fang. Potential to freeze, so... let's see how much this does. Does a decent amount. He's not Rocky Helmet. He's just going to go for Foul Play. That's why I didn't want a Dragon Dance, actually. So I'm just going to go Chestnut here on what can potentially be a Toxic. He just goes for Foul Play again, predicting another sub, I guess. And we can Leech Seed this. Yeah, we can just Leech Seed this. If he goes Arcanine, then it's going to drop to the Leech Seed recovery. So he's going to go Aerodactyl. That's a big threat, especially that we just missed Leech Seed. So I kind of just want a Spiky Shield here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So he probably thinks he can just go for Aerial Ace. Actually, he goes Hone Claws. That's a pretty good move. It's a pretty good play. I'm just going to go into the Blade to check this, and as he goes for what I believe is the Aerial Ace. Yes, it is. And obviously he cannot stay in on an Iron Head if he doesn't have EQ, so we're going to test if he has EQ. He actually has Pursuit and he weakens the Blade. Okay, that's not a big deal though. If I wouldn't have switched out, he would have dropped to an Iron Head plus Shadow Sneak, so I don't really totally understand that play, but now I'm just going to go... I'm actually going to Dragon Dance this time, as he goes for Stone Edge. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Alright, so it's not turning out to be the best first game. I'm just going to go Blastoise here. And I'm just going to fire off a Scald at this point. Like, I'm just getting tired of this thing specifically. This thing does a number to my team, especially that he Pursuit Trapped my Blade. I could have dealt with it so much earlier, but just things happen. So I'm going to go Chestnut here. As he goes for Seismic Toss, that's fine. Again, I can just Leech Seed, and if he wants to Hone Claws with his Aerodactyl, then... Okay, he's going to Wish Up. That's fine. I'm going to go for double Leech Seed here. He's going to go into Arcanine. I could have Drain Punched it, but it's not really totally worth it. Okay, his Arcanine goes right back up to full. That's crazy. Blissey has so much health. But he's going to go for Flare Blitz. Not going to do too much, especially after the leftovers plus the Leech Seed. We can obviously Spiky Shield here, so I don't think he would stay in. I think he's either going to go, yeah, he's going to go into Mandibuzz, so we're going to catch that and Leech Seed that as well. We're just going to go for another layer of spikes. He should be faster, as he is, and he goes for Toxic, but he does miss. And here, I'm just going to go into Reuniclus. I mean, Reuniclus is my only chance of winning at this point. I can't be statused. It can take on pretty much everything. I don't see him staying in on me. Do I have a counter to him bringing in Ditto on this thing? Not really. Toxic isn't going to do anything. And we're just going to fire off a Focus Blast at this point in time. This is going to Roost. I'm going to get off a lot of damage. Wow, that's crazy damage, man. Wow. That's actually insane. I'm going to Calm Mind here and predict his Blissey to want to come out. His Frostlass actually comes out. And I'm just going to go for the Psychic. Shadow Ball at this point is not going to do anything if he's carrying it. It's going to do very little. So, Reuniclus can still bring this back, man. It can. Because his Aerodactyl is not going to do anything with Pursuit if I'm not switching out. I have 240 defense, so he's just going to go for Protect here. I'm going to go for Psychic. Yes, his Ditto can come in at any time. I have to basically predict when that time is going to be. He's actually going to go for Disable here. That's fine. I'm going to go for Calm Mind. And he's going to bring in his Arrow. And once again, I can Focus Blast this. So that's not the greatest play. He's going to Pursuit. That's going to do virtually nothing. We're just going to Focus Blast, leave him at 10%. I'm going to recover here because his best play is to go for Pursuit again. Yep, definitely he's going to go for Stone Edge. This time it's going to do a little bit more. Now my Psychic is no longer on lockdown. And we are going to... I'm actually just going to recover again, hoping that he doesn't go for Hone Claws. I mean, it's my only play. I want to be at as high health as possible to take on whatever. So, and with Ditto, it comes down to whether or not I can crit it. So he's going to go back into Frostlass. I'm just going to go for the Calm Mind here as he goes for Protect. And now I get off a Psychic on something. So that's pretty good. He can alternate between his... Okay, that does absolutely nothing. And his Frostlass is going to go down to 1%. As he's going to... did he get Cursed Body? What happened? Yeah, I think that's got to be Cursed Body, right? Yeah, that's Cursed Body. Okay. Well, I can just recover here infinitely. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to test to see if he has the Destiny Bond. because that's what these things often carry as their last move. I really can't have Reuniclus go down. If I get a crit on Ditto, that's okay. He's going to crit me, but that's fine. I went for recover. That's okay. I'm just going to wait until my Psychic gets... okay, so I don't know why disable. Okay, because I already have a move disabled. Right. So I'm just going to go for Calm Mind again as he goes for Destiny Bond, which is fine. Psychic is still disabled, so that's kind of annoying. I can kind of just outplay all his Destiny Bonds, and I'm just going to keep clicking Calm Mind, honestly. I don't want him Destiny Bonding me. I can't PP stall him completely because he does have 30 disables. So I don't know how I'm going to get around that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I was really tempted to just Psychic there. So he's going to bring in his. And this is going to be... Well, I can recover and he can't. I just realized that. So, and I have leftovers while he has Choice Scarf. Yeah, my Reuniclus can still win. Yo, this thing is so good, man. He just forfeits. He straight up forfeits. Like he hadn't lost the game yet, but it was such a bad situation because he couldn't hit me for any damage. I can OHKO pretty much everything on his team now, barring Blissey, obviously, because its special defense is through the roof. But we made a lot of bad plays in that game. It just goes to show how one Pokemon like Reuniclus, you never forfeit. Like, I was under the impression that Reuniclus was going to lose to Ditto, but realistically, I had two setup sweepers that he couldn't do anything to because his Ditto is Choice Scarf. It can't recover. It can't do anything. It doesn't have any leftovers, so it's going to go down quicker than I am, no matter how boosted I am. So that was just that was magical, man. Reuniclus coming through. So yeah, we'll get another game. Obviously, we won't end it there, and hopefully we'll try to not make as many misplays this time, and we'll see where that goes. So I'll pause it until we get one, guys. And maybe you guys saw that right before the cut, but we did get a game right before I paused, so we're right back into it. And this guy has a Mega Beedrill, and that's scary, barring the Blade. The Blade handles it pretty well unless it has Drill Run or Pursuit, but even that, like, it's the Blade. Like, you're not taking any damage. Most of his Pokemon are physical attackers, which is great, because the Blade can handle them really well. Obviously, you can't switch into a Sacred Fire from Entei. Doesn't take a Razor Shell at +2 from Cloister too well, but everything else is just hard walls, like, gotta watch out for Trevenant's Will-O-Wisp, obviously, and Shadow Claw, I guess, but, like, I just have such a good matchup. I'm just gonna lead with Gyarados, because it lowers the Beedrill's attack, and it permits me to go for a Waterfall straight off the bat, I believe. Am I faster before Mega Evolution? Yes, I am. So I don't think he's going to... Yeah, he's just going to let his Beedrill go straight down. Oh my god, we got a crit, obviously. That definitely mattered. I don't think Beedrill goes down, and he just forfeits. I don't even want to count that one. That's not a game. We're just jumping into the next one. Oh man, that's bad. Obviously he couldn't protect because he couldn't risk me Dragon Dancing and then just sweeping his entire team. So he had to go for an offensive move turn 1. The correct play would have been to switch directly into Trevenant, but then again I can also sub, so the crit definitely mattered that game. Anyway, we'll just forget about that. That's obviously points on the ladder, that's great, but we'll get into the next game. So I see a Crobat right away, that scares me right off the bat. Chestnut does not wall that. I also see an Entei. I see a Heracross, I see a Florges. Those are all things that Chestnut does not do too well against. Blastoise and Swampert, his two bulky waters, a little bit better. But even that, like Ice Beam from Mega Blastoise can absolutely destroy me. I think he's Mega Blastoise, I'm pretty sure. Looking at the team composition, I think his rocker would be Swampert. So what we're going to do is we're going to lead Chestnut, even though it has such a bad matchup against so many things. He's not going to want to take a Seed Bomb right here. So I'm just going to go for a Leech Seed and catch the Crobat. There we go. So we're going to get some health off of this thing. Hopefully he just goes straight for the Brave Bird. I'm going to Spiky Shield. and so that if he switches, it doesn't even matter. There we go. So his Heracross is Guts, which once again pretty much scares me. Our Spiky Shield did fail though, which means I can go for it again, barring him being Swords Dance, which I'm kind of scared of. Then again, the Blade does pretty well against this thing, right? Doesn't it quad resist Megahorn as well? It's immune. Yeah, I can pretty much go to Blade. As he goes back into Crobat, which is perfectly fine. So now rises the question, do we just fire off an Iron Head and get off some damage on something? I think we do. As he goes for taunt, so he's trying to stop my Swords Dance, and he's going to take damage for it. And I'm just going to fire off another Iron Head. I really don't care. That U-turn literally does 1%. And Swampert is going to come out. Swampert can get up rocks now. That's perfectly fine. I do have a spinner. I'm going to go straight into Blastoise. And nothing really wants to come in on a Scald, honestly. Yeah, nothing wants to get burned, so I'm just going to Scald this, and we get the burn, because it is Scald. So he doesn't get the burn back, though, because Scald only works for you. So I'm just going to Dark Pulse here as Florges comes out. I was just trying to flinch the Swampert. I really didn't care what came out at that point. I'm just going to spin here just to get rid of the rocks. Now Swampert is crippled. We're going to be able to keep up rocks for the majority of the game. He's going to go for Wish, so he can Wish Pass into his Swampert. So I'm just going to Scald again, and hopefully he stays in. That'll give me momentum and allow me to go into something like Gyarados, for example. Start DDing up. I get up one Dragon Dance when Blastoise is weakened, and this, oh my god, and we get we get the burn on the floor just too. Anyway, as I was saying, I get one Dragon Dance up on the on my Gyarados when his Blastoise is weakened, and Gyarados pretty much cleans up the game. Obviously, Gyarados can't be weakened because Entei has extreme speed. If it's Banded Entei, it's going to do a lot of damage. As long as we keep the Blade alive, though, we prevent him from spamming that. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go straight into Reuniclus, because this thing has Heal Bell. Okay, I'm surprised he didn't go for it earlier. Then again, it's not the optimal play. So he doesn't have a really good answer for this, so I'm just going to Calm Mind up. As he goes straight into Swampert, which is perfectly fine because he didn't give it a wish. So I'm just going to Psychic here, honestly, and lower this thing down to 16%. I'm going to Calm Mind again. And this thing can do... I could have Roar. I should probably think about that for a sec. But the best thing he can roar me out into is Gyarados, honestly. The rest doesn't really care, so I'm just going to Calm Mind again, and he's going to go Florges. And, okay, wait a minute. This thing can't touch me. Nothing can touch me. I can just perpetually Calm Mind as he goes Blastoise. Yeah, this doesn't matter. He has to crit a Dark Pulse and flinch me like twice for this to matter. He's going to go for Dark Pulse. As you can see, it does 34, which is negligible damage. And we're just going to recover here and get all that back. And... honestly, I just want to Calm Mind. I think I'm going to risk it. Yeah, I'm just going to risk going up to like as much as I can. Like obviously, as you can see there, he can flinch me, but as long as he doesn't crit me, we're fine. And he goes Heracross. Now this is the problematic Pokemon to this, because it can go for a Megahorn. I actually want to calc to see if Heracross guts the UU Toxic Orb. Is this it? Yeah, Megahorn to Reuniclus. UU Calm Mind. Megahorn does take us out in one hit, so I'm just going to go straight into the Blade. Sorry about that. So as you can see, that does 11. So the Blade is so bulky, man. It's crazy. Swampert doesn't take an Iron Head plus Shadow Sneak anymore. And neither does Blastoise. Like, his whole team is weakened. I can just go straight for Iron Head. His Blastoise will go down, yeah. That's it. Like, what does he have for me now? I know for a fact that Entei's Sacred Fire does about 37 to Blastoise, so I kind of want to go into that. Then again, because he would put me in Torrent, but if he gets the burn, no, even if he doesn't get the burn, he still kills me. So, yeah, this thing is a problem now, actually, now that I let my Blastoise get weakened. Well, I mean, I can just sack something. What do I need the least? I need Absol the least. So we're just going to let it go down to a Sacred Fire. As you can see, Absol just disappeared off your screen. So I'm just going to go Blastoise now. And I am just going to fire off a Scald. I just want to weaken this. I just want to get it in range of pretty much everything. If he Sacred Fires me, he puts me in Torrent range. So just going to go for the Scald. And now I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin. He can Wish. I can Scald again to prevent a Swampert from coming back in. And he's going to go for the Moonblast, which is perfectly fine. He's almost got me in Torrent. Not quite yet. Now I don't have a reliable switch to Entei though, so, well, other than Gyarados of course. I can see him going for Wish again. I don't see him necessarily going for Moonblast. At this point, do I just want to DD up? I could. Yeah, I'm going to go Gyarados as he goes for a Wish. And I'm going to Dragon Dance because he does not have a switch in at all. He's going to go Swampert, and I'm pretty sure this takes a tremendous amount from Waterfall. Are we adamant? No, we're jolly. So, as you can see, and I think that's pretty much going to clean up the game, the fact that we flinched Swampert. Yeah, because it does 38. So, we kill Crobat. We sub up on Heracross until it takes enough toxic damage so that we can knock it out with one Waterfall. And then Entei is forced to E-Speed. So I'm just going to substitute here and see what he wants to go for. He goes for Facade. Obviously that's going to do quite a bit if we let us take it. I just want to see if Heracross here dies to Gyarados. Offensive Dragon Dance. We are jolly. Perfect. Waterfall. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. Okay. And that's at neutral? Really? That normal Gyarados? Waterfall does that much? No way. No way. So all I need to do is sub up once more. No, not even, because I'm at +1. Waterfall does so much. Yeah, this thing goes straight down. Supposedly. And it doesn't. Alright, so. I don't know what happened with that calc. What was up with that? Guts, badly poisoned. I knew that had to be wrong. We are jolly. We are max attack. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter because basically now what's going to happen is I'm going to have Reuniclus live a hit and weaken his Entei. And can Chestnut take one? Chestnut. I know I'm doing a lot of calcing, guys. Sorry. But I just have to be... I don't want to lose, you know? You just never want to lose. Sacred Fire. Wow. Is that banded? Wow. Wow. What? Are you kidding me? What? Okay, yeah, that has to be... Something's wrong with this calc. Like, something's legitimately wrong. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go for Spiky Shield. He's going to predict that and go into Crobat. Something's wrong here. Why am I... Oh, okay, that's why. We are in the rain, guys. I don't know why my calc was set to in the rain. You guys probably noticed that and were yelling at the screen, but... well, if you did, but... Anyway, I'm going to double into the Blade, as this thing can't touch me. And at this point... I'm just going to go for the Swords Dance, as he goes for the Taunt. And I'm going to go for the Sacred Sword. I mean, I have no reason not to. I'm just going to spam it. He's just going to go for Brave Bird. That's okay. I'm going to go in for Iron Head at this point. There's no way he swaps right into Entei, so Iron Head's going to do a lot. He's going to have to either Roost or Taunt me again here, and he does. Iron Head does 40, so Shadow Sneak should do 20. I'm just going to keep Iron Heading in that case, as he's going to Roost. I'm going to keep Iron Heading. I'm going to keep him low so that he has to go for a Taunt when that wears off. And we're going to go for Iron Head again. If he makes the play into Entei, then he's good, but I'm just going to Shadow Sneak here. No reason not to. And then after that, I can sack my my Chestnut. He's going to go directly into Entei, so he's going to let me damage this. That's great, actually. So I just want to make sure of this calc. Banded Entei to a Blastoise of my kind. Are you Bulky Spinner? Not in the rain, please. Thank you. I don't know why it keeps going there. Sacred Fire does 29 max. That's on a max defense set, though, which I do not believe we are. We are actually Assault Vest. Why are we Assault Vest? Hold on a second. This is another one of my team guys. We're going to have to fix that. Assault Vest, and we're actually max special attack. I think I did have this as Mega Blastoise at some point. Hold on, I'm just going to make it max defense. There we go. Get rid of that and put 4 there. And change that to leftovers, and the rest we can keep as is, I think. What does this typically run? It typically runs Toxic and Refresh. No need for that. Okay, so I'm taunted, and I'm going to go into Chestnut. Obviously, I'm just going to sack it. He's going to go for Flare Blitz, which obviously does more to Reuniclus, and I want to see how much more it does to Reuniclus. UU Calm Mind, Not in the Rain. Flare Blitz does 70%. So, and how much does my Psychic do? Psychic, not Psyshock. Psychic does 40 to 47, which will put this thing at 20 or 21, and then Dublade's Shadow Sneak does kill. Awesome. Okay, so this is it, guys. We can either get 2 low rolls and lose the game, or we can get a decent roll. Actually, no, wait a minute. We take him out. Right, he's locked into Flare Blitz. He takes recoil. So he's going to go into his Crobat. I think he's just going to either U-turn. Yeah, he's going to U-turn. It's not going to matter, though, because his... Yeah, he's going to forfeit. That's pretty much game at that point because the Blade comes in after, even if he takes me out with Florges. I'm just going to fire off Psychics at that point. My leftovers is going to bring me back up to the point that I can recover without dying to a Moonblast. So I think we have enough time for one more, so we'll try to get a quick one. This tier used to be very stally, but a lot of Pokemon dropped from OU without their Mega status, such as Alakazam, such as Gyarados. Really spiced up the tier, made it a lot faster. You couldn't just stall out with Gudra, Empoleon, Florges, Umbreon, walls like that. So you really needed to play a little more offensively. This tier was ridiculously stally about, I would say, like 8 months ago. And then great things happened. So it's a really fun tier to play. You guys should try it out if you haven't played UU before. OU is typically the tier that you see played the most. So here we have a player with an Azelf, and that's an Azelf lead, and we also have a Doublade, and we also have a Slurpuff. Now, Doublade is a great Slurpuff counter. Slurpuff can't touch it. I once ran a Slurpuff with Thief just to kill Doublade, but it only does like 60% anyway. And then you lose your Unburden boost. So there was no reason to run Thief. You pretty much just get rid of the Blade before anything else. So I'm going to lead Blastoise as he leads his Elf, which is great because I'm going to go for Dark Pulse. And it's going to do as much damage as it can, obviously. If he switches straight into something else, that's great. So he goes for Psychic. That's awesome. We're going to do a lot with the Dark Pulse, and I'm pretty free to, I want to say, fire off a Scald. No, Dark Pulse is the only thing that'll kill, so we'll just get rid of that. And he can't set up with his Slurpuff yet. He can try to set up with the Blade, but I have Dark Pulse, and even Eviolite doesn't keep it from taking a lot of damage. So his Whimsicott's going to come in. I do not want my Doublade taking any damage whatsoever. He's going to Encore me, but Chestnut is going to come out. At this point, all I want to do is set up spikes, get up as much layers as I can. I want to weaken the Slurpuff. Obviously, we're going to take a Moonblast, so we see that this thing is offensive. It's not too big a deal. We're just going to spike his shield, get a little bit of health back, and then we can switch into anything else. That's pretty much how the team works. He doesn't have a Defogger save Salamence, but Salamence is typically run Scarfed to sweep at the end of the game. He's running quite a few sweepers, actually. He's got Mega Houndoom can sweep with Nasty Plot, Slurpuff with Belly Drum, Swords Dance the Blade, which is what we're running. But I think I'm pretty safe to go into the Blade here. Well, I don't really want to take a Moonblast, to be honest. I'm just going to go Reuniclus, as he's going to lower our special attack, so that's a little unfortunate, but I'm just going to go for Psychic, just to weaken this thing a little bit. And obviously, he can't Leech Seed me, which is great. He's going to get another special attack drop. That's insane. And we're just going to go for Recover. And if he wants to Encore me into Psychic, so be it. I'd rather damage the Whimsicott at this point. So he's going to go for Moonblast. He's going to try to Encore us, obviously. and this is the turn that I go into the blade. So that he can't encore us, and here it is, and you can't do anything, and I'm pretty free to fire off an Iron Head. Now his only decent switch is his own the blade. So we'll see how that works out. We can have a Swords Dance war. I don't know if I would necessarily win. Well, I do have a Spike Up. So in comes Salamence, which makes me believe that he has some sort of fire move. He can also just fire off an Earthquake. I think my safest play is just to go into Gyarados. As he does go for Fire Blast, he gets a crit, not a big deal. If he is locked in, then he's going to have to... what I'm actually going to do here is fire off an Ice Fang, because I want to prevent Whimsicott from coming in and encoring me into Dragon Dance. That's the last thing I want. So he's actually going to Draco, so he's not locked in. Awesome. That's actually really, really good, because that means that Absol can Sucker Punch him, and yeah. Yeah, and now his special attack is lowered, so I don't even need to do that. I can just knock off. I'm pretty free to knock off, right? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So his Salamence is going to go for Outrage at this point. Okay, so it's Mixed Ments. I should have seen that one coming. So I'm going to go into the Blade, and now at this point, with him being locked into Outrage, I want to see how much Doublade, if it's worth setting up all the way. Swords Dance versus a Houndoom. Mega Houndoom, you nasty plot. Shadow Sneak does very negligible damage, even at +6. It doesn't do nearly enough. So I think it's in our best interest just to kill this at this point. Yeah, there we go. So we got that out of the way. It's a little unfortunate that we had to lose 2 Pokemon to do that. At any point I could have just clicked Sucker Punch, so there's a little ambitious on my part. Definitely shouldn't have gone for that, because now I'm going to have a hard time with the Blade on his side. So, you know what? Let's just go Chestnut here. I think it's our best play. If he nasty plots, he nasty plots. There's nothing I can do about that, but I can't stay in. This is my only play. There we go. Alright, so let's go into Blastoise and really hope that Whimsicott drops to Scald, I guess? There's nothing else I can do here. So, now when Houndoom comes back in, though. Okay, so he's going to go Whim. We're going to get a burn on it, actually. That's really good. And I'm just going to go into the Blade. Straight into the Blade. That burn actually really matters. It's going to come into play at the end of the game. He's going to Memento me. So, if he wants to go into Slurpuff here, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if he was predicting a Rapid Spin or what he was predicting, but I don't think I have a choice but to Sacred Sword. Yeah, he's gonna nasty plot, so that's my best play. It's gonna do a lot, but it's not gonna do enough. I think that's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, so we pretty much lose the game right here. Unless Blastoise can tank this, which it's physically defensive, so it probably can't. It definitely can't. Yeah, he already dropped the GG. I'm going to do the same because that's pretty much going to be it. And yeah, so that's going to be the end of the live. I'm just going to forfeit here, lose to that. So I didn't really see Memento coming. UU's not really my tier. I don't play a lot of it. I play a lot of Battle Factory, which I might eventually do actually as a vid. But I play a lot of Battle Factory, get a lot of RU, get a lot of NU. Not so much UU. UU is a lot rarer, or a lot more rare, right? Yeah, English. So that was that. It's just a team I made for fun, and it works most of the time. It would have worked a lot better, obviously, if I would have just sucker punched the Salamence instead of getting risky, because obviously he could still Draco me, and he would still be faster than me. So I definitely should have just sucker punched. My Absol would have still been alive, and I didn't see the Mixed Ments coming either. Well, Fire Blast told me that he had at least one special move. But anyway, so we're going to end it there. I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer. I'd just like to thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did down below, and subscribe if you want to see more. So, yeah, thanks again.